Without speculation, there's no fun. I think speculation is part of what drives humans forward, right?
Yeah.
Not just like financial market, right? But at the end of the day, I think, as Gabby mentioned, right? I think crypto is definitely game changing, right? Blockchain is definitely game changing. But if you want to change the game, you also have to kind of like spend enough time, spend enough resources, right? Because Rome is not built in one day. I think one thing that Web3 degens or like Web3 participants they need to learn is actually patience.
Hello and welcome back to
okay.
CoinDesk Live. We are coming to you from Consensus Hong Kong. Now, one of the major themes we're going to hear across the next 2 days has to do with gaming, culture. We just heard a little conversation about AI agents on stage there. Joining me to continue the conversation right here at the desk is Yield Guild Games co-founder Gabby Dizon and Memeland CEO Ray Chan. Hello.
Hi.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, good for you to be here. I'm good for you to join me here. Both of you have built these really thriving ecosystems where users aren't just consumers, but really like active participants in building whatever it is that you're building. What lessons do you think
All right,
that Web3 still has to learn when it comes to building a community that's going to continue to come back and continue to participate?
Yeah, so we've been building Web3 communities, especially around gaming, since 2020. I started playing Axie Infinity back in 2018, and we've definitely seen the ebbs and flows of interest coming into Web3. And because everything, all of the assets in Web3 are financialized, I think this really kind of swings around kind of greed and then towards more of honest community building. I think people would really want to make sure that the community has long-term ownership of the assets that it owns. It's not just about rampant speculation. Of course, everyone wants to make money, but I really want to see more of a shift towards more long-term ownership mindset.
Ray, I want to build on that. Is it possible to get away from this speculation that drives so much of what happens in this industry? How do we get to what Gabby was just discussing?
Without speculation, there's no fun. I think speculation is part of what drives humans forward,
Yeah.
right? Not just like financial market, right? But at the end of the day, I think, as Gabby mentioned, right? I think crypto is definitely game changing, right? Blockchain is definitely game changing. But if you want to change the game, you also have to kind of like spend enough time, spend enough resources, right? Because Rome is not built in one day. I think one thing that Web3 degens or like Web3 participants they need to learn is actually patience. I think that part is actually very, very important.
Yeah, from where I sit at CoinDesk, we cover so much of what happens in North America, and that's why I'm so happy that we're here in Hong Kong and we can kind of bring that discussion over to Asia and talk about some of the differences. Gabby, I want to kick it back to you. Talk to me about community building in Asia versus North America, because I think it's very different.
Yeah, so we work a lot with emerging markets, Southeast Asia, definitely Philippines, but also India, Latam, Brazil, and in a lot of these regions, people want to get onboarded to Web3. They want to contribute, but they may not have a lot of capital. What they have are skills that they contribute to these networks, right? So we focus a lot on onboarding, on educating people. What are these skills that you have that you can give that people are willing to pay for, which kind of gets your capital going? So it might be playing a game, it might be creating a content. If you're an elite player, you might join an esports team. So we focus on these elements so that people have skills that they're willing to learn, that other people are willing to pay for.
And Ray, I'm going to kick it over to you now. What can the community builders in North America learn from how it's being done here?
I think in Asia, especially in China, right? I think on-the-ground marketing is actually very, very effective. Right? I think a lot of like coins or projects, right, be it good or bad, they actually do a lot of like on-the-ground marketing. Meanwhile, in the US, right, people are kind of like superstitious in online marketing, right? Oh, you just have to do on X. I think that's enough, right? Oh, at best maybe Discord, right? But in Asia, actually a lot of teams they do a lot of like local marketings, right?
We also do a lot of underground marketing.
They form like communities. They have meetups, right? Because in general, right, a lot of like Asian countries they are relatively smaller, right? So it's easy to meet up with your community members, with your participants. I think that part is quite different from the US, especially in Asia. I think internet. I mean, we have internet, right? But at the same time, the usage is kind of different, right? And people actually have the opportunity cost is lower for them. That's why it's easier for them to meet up. And generally speaking, I think Asians love to meet each other more. Right? I think we love each other more. I think that part is also quite interesting.
Yeah, it sounds really like a cultural shift, a cultural difference. Tell me a little bit more about on-the-ground marketing, because I don't think we see it enough in crypto. Of course, we have this event where we're here IRL, but it is really a special thing for a lot of folks who are building. We don't talk a lot about this like experiential IRL focus. Give me like a real use case. Talk me through something successful that you've been a part of.
Imagine, like Consensus is like the biggest event, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of this meetup is like a decentralized events in a way, right? And a lot of them is actually not launched by the team. It's actually by all these like smaller communities, right, on the ground. For example, like Solana, right? They have something called Super Team, right? They actually, I think they started from India. I think it's India, right? And then they all these like community members, right? They voluntarily set up some meetups to find the builders, right? To find the participant in the space, and then they meet up, they talk about it, they discuss new ideas, right? For me, we also have meetups in Hong Kong, in different parts of the world. Whenever we have events, we also try to meet our holders, right? I think this doesn't really happen, right? In the past, right? When you look at like all these like big companies,
Yeah.
In crypto, people talk about community all the time. I mean, whether it's like bullshit or not, I think that's another question, right? But at least I think a lot of people, they feel that they have stronger ownership. I think that makes them, I want to show up, not just because I want to pump my bet, right? But I also want to meet people who share the same ideas. I think that part is very important.
Yeah, we have our guild communities in different regions, different cities from around the world, and they are the ones that really hold the community. They do the onboarding, so we don't have to do a lot of work in just ourselves. A lot of the teams actually carry the work for onboarding for us, and it's our job to empower these guild communities, to give them opportunities, and then they in turn can do the recruitment of people into Web3.
Ray, I'm taking it back over to you now. What does it mean for you to be at an event like Consensus in Hong Kong? What are you looking forward to?
I was born and raised in Hong Kong, right?
Yeah.
Consensus coming to Hong Kong is a big thing for me, right? Because on one hand, it shows that, okay, finally, right, Hong Kong or Asia, right, gets more spotlight from the bigger crypto events, right? And the other thing is, Hong Kong government is very welcoming Consensus in Hong Kong. This is like a realization of what they promise us, right? Because Hong Kong has been talking about, they want to promote Web3, they want to support Web3 for 2-3 years. I think this is like I would say this is like a milestone. Because, okay, you can say that you support it, you can have regulations and stuff, but at the end of the day, do you welcome all these builders, do you welcome all these like participants in Hong Kong, right? Without a lot of like all these like very strict like regulation and stuff. I think that part is a good sign. And to me, you can see that, okay, for example, this morning, right, you have one of the highest like government official in Hong Kong to give the opening speech. I think that shows, okay, Hong Kong is actually trying to do its best, right, in Asia, right, in the world, right, for crypto. And I think I'm happy for that because I'm based in Hong Kong, I'm building in Hong Kong. I wish that, hey, we can be based in Hong Kong and then create our service, provide our products, right, to the world. Yeah.
Ray's from Hong Kong, so he's a little biased. Gabby,
Totally biased.
Gabby, what does it mean for you to be here, given your journey in crypto? I mean, really, you're at the forefront of play to earn, the forefront of pushing this like Web3 gaming narrative that continues to build and iterate. What does it mean for you to be sitting at Consensus in Hong Kong?
I come from the Philippines, which is not that far away. So it's I really like that a lot of these major conferences are coming to Asia and seeing the Asian point of view. And when you say Asia, of course, there's China, there's Hong Kong, there's East Asia, there's Southeast Asia, and you can see a lot of the different influences come together here.
All right, thank you both for joining us here at the desk. I'm sure I'm going to see you around the conference, and I hope you have a wonderful time.
Thank you.
Awesome. That was Yield Guild Games co-founder Gabby Dizon and Memeland CEO Ray Chan.